So something really, really bad happened. Really, really bad that it has been causing me severe amounts of stress and making me just rethink my entire position on everything. Essentially, I received a cease and desist letter from someone in regards to a video that I had posted. As I was perched on my moral high ground and I thought, I will not bend to a bully, I realized and learned that if I were to fight this defamation suit and fight it with the truth, that my defense is this is true, that my defense is these are my opinions, even if I were to win that case, I could very easily be forced to spend $50,000 to $100,000 in legal fees. It's just really sad to me that that was her first response, that she literally would threaten something that could take away my home and could negatively affect my son's life forever because I had the audacity to share discourse about the ethics of business and to expect a little bit more transparency from other service providers who are leading our industry. And I still don't feel that that is too much to ask. So I do want to reiterate what matters most in that video. We're just going to ignore everything about that particular person. Real quick, run through the points in that video, which has now had to be deleted. And I also want to reiterate here that, in my opinion, what falls under this job servicing umbrella is also when you are outsourcing 100% of your business, but you are not disclosing that where the services are being sold, where people are making the decisions to purchase, and those consumers have no reasonable way to know that what they think they're purchasing is not actually being performed by that person. In my opinion, that all falls under job servicing. Again, transparency and business ethics is what I'm asking for, and that's what I want to have a discussion about. And apparently the whole situation just got shut down. So to start, and my son's going to talk in the background, he's why I'm bending, if you will. He's why I'm not fighting back, because it's just not worth it. It really frustrates me, in my opinion, that a lot of the discourse about job servicing and service arbitrage and automating everything and having a false persona of who's actually completing the work, that all stems from, or mostly stems from, financial freedom topics. But it is my opinion that this does not perpetuate financial freedom for the other people underneath the drop servicer if those independent contractors are hired in secret, and especially if a freelancer's goal is to make millions of dollars without hiring a single employee. I believe that that does not perpetuate financial freedom for the other people who are involved. That is my opinion, and I do stand by that, and feel free to ask me why in more detail. Let's have a discussion. That's what all this comes down to, is a discussion about business ethics and how we can better support the freelance economy for everyone involved. Ethical outsourcing is so possible, and I urge everyone to just take some accountability for their actions and to make positive changes instead of just shutting down the conversations, because that is not how we as an industry are going to improve. So the 3 ways that you can make a positive change to outsource more ethically and to support both yourself in the long run and everyone who is part of this chain is: number 1, talent transparency. As I mentioned in the previous video, I think that, in my opinion, I want to challenge you, if you are so uncomfortable with honestly sharing who you are working with, or that you do work with other people, I think that you have a problem with hiring practices. I stand by that. I think that that's true, and we need to work on who we are surrounding ourselves with, and that we need to value them at a level where we are comfortable and confident to showcase that collaboration as an asset for clients and not something that needs to be withheld. Number 2 is to use the right label. I see a lot of people in this discussion who are considering themselves to be solopreneurs or solo freelancers, when in reality that is not the case, but you need to be transparent and use the right label about who is collaborating and who is doing the work. And number 3 is to pay ethically and honestly. As I mentioned in the last video, This whole conversation centers around financial freedom, and much of this discourse starts in contrast to toxic work and CEOs controlling and corporations having too much power. And I believe that in order to lift others up, we need to give everyone a platform that is visible, that is transparent, that honors their role in this process and pays them fairly. And I am not saying, but ultimately, this system, and I still so strongly believe this kind of method teaches others how to exploit the next person in line. If you learn just how little work you can do to skim off the top and have someone else do all the work for you, and you say this is how you reach financial freedom, the next person in line is going to see how much they can skim off the top and give the work to someone else, and they'll say, I learned how to be financially free. If it perpetuates in this way, will ultimately harm the people who are in the greatest need and have the least amount of power. And again, I stand by that. So I urge everyone who is involved in this whole system to charge fairly, pay yourself fairly, and ultimately pay your providers fairly. That is the challenge that I hope everyone can partake in.